Welcome to Naturesque. I'm Michele Happy, and I'm out in this beautiful day in the park. It's a little dreary today, so I decided to try and find something colorful, and this beautiful art display behind me in the park is really nice. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my week this week. So I tried to get out and walk every day, which I was almost out every day. And one of the days I was out, I saw a family. I was walking into the park, and there's this big, huge puddle off to the side. And there was this little guy on a bike. He was so cute, helmet on, and he was splashing through the puddles, going back and forth. And as I walked up to them, I said to the parents, "Oh, that looks like a lot of fun. I should try that." And she said, "Well, all you need is a pair of boots and your bike, and you can go give it a shot." So we laughed, and then I asked them, "Well, how old is your son?" And the little guy immediately held up 3 fingers to show that he was 3. Really cute. Yeah, so as I was walking into the park today, I was looking for that puddle. It was actually gone already, so I missed my opportunity. But then I was thinking that would have been interesting had I run home that day, put on my helmet, grabbed my bike, maybe had to inflate the tires because I haven't had it out yet, and come back to the park and given that a try. Actually zoomed through the puddle and anyway, I can imagine if someone was walking by at that point, they might have said, "Whoa, how old are you?" And it would have been really cute if I could hold up 60 fingers to show them that I'm 60, but that I'm also having a lot of fun. So that's what this channel is going to be about as well. Last week was kind of heavy, but I also want to have some fun as well. So a little bit about last week. There was one in particular theme that I talked about was perfectionism, and I struggle with that my entire life. I knew I needed to be perfect to be loved. That was my belief that had been given to me by the situation. But now I know that wasn't true. But I was trying to always be perfect at everything. Perfect grades, perfect clothing, perfect chores. Tried to do everything so that I wouldn't disappoint someone, and then felt that I needed that to be validated and loved. Well, I know that that's not true now. And I know my parents and my family loved me very much, but it was my limiting belief that I had to overcome. So even though I'm 60, I still struggle with this. So today I was actually pulled out this spring coat, and I noticed it had a bunch of puddles on it. And you might be thinking, what on earth are puddles? But when I grew up in a German family, that's what we called the piles that collect on your clothing. Anyway, so I pulled out the pile shaver, and I'm shaving away, trying to, and it looks pretty good now, actually. And after about I emptied the container about 3 times. It was so full of piles. And at a point I went, you know what? This is good enough. What am I trying to do? Doesn't need to be perfect. I did my best, and that's all I can do. So perfectionism shows up all the time. And when you're thinking about some of your feelings that you're having throughout the day, maybe you're not feeling the greatest. It's actually a sign that if you're not feeling good, something is wrong. And if you stop in your tracks and think about, or actually notice your thoughts, what are you actually thinking at that point in time? What you'll find is the thought that you're thinking could very well be a limiting belief. Another example of this was a lot of projects that I do at work. I will at some points I will go over them and over them and over them, and I'm ruminating, and then I stop myself and go, I'm feeling so frustrated that I'm still working on this project. And then I realize, that's my perfectionism kicking in once more. So I have to take a step back and look at what are my options. So first of all, I'll never be perfect, so I have to realize that, which is fine. But there has to be a point where if I'm stuck, maybe I need to ask for help. Or if I've done my best and really don't need anyone else's help at that point, it's a small little project, I need to say, okay, that's good. I can move on and be happy with that. So that's part of understanding yourself, is knowing if I don't feel good, something is not right. I need to take a step back, look at what I'm thinking, evaluate that, and stop it in its tracks. There are tons of different tools that we use to eliminate a limiting belief, and this is just kind of the first step, is recognizing it. And when you do that, you kind of jog your brain, and those neurological pathways go, whoa, hang on a second, this isn't what I normally think about. So you're trying, or you're slowly reprogramming your brain to think differently. And over time, it's not going to happen overnight. So I still have perfectionism issues, but it doesn't happen overnight. And if you keep at it and keep doing it, you will get where you need to go. So if you're thinking about different things in your life that you're not happy with and you're not getting where you want to be, then that could be part of what's holding you back, is actually doing the internal work of what limiting beliefs are holding me back and why, and how do I go about stopping that. So we'll dig into that a little bit deeper at another episode. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this beautiful day. This art display just gives me lots of joy. I love it. And I've been noticing so many people out today. They've been walking their dogs or on their bike, riding along with the dog beside them. There was a few that just passed here, and people with their strollers walking their kids with their kids. And there's a park just down the way here, and kids are playing. So we know that spring is almost here. It's not perfectly spring, which is fine. And I've noticed a few things out in nature too. I've seen squirrels chasing each other. They're getting frisky for the spring. And lots of geese have been coming back. And I noticed the other day when I was on my walk, there was a flock of geese. They were flying along, and they were flying in a V, but the front of the V maybe only had like 5 geese, but the rest of the V was really long. So I thought, well, there you go. There's an example of something that's not perfect, but they're making progress and they're going forward and they're getting where they want to go. So a good friend of mine that I just met recently, his name is Thomas Miller. He has a YouTube channel called True Freedom. And he was telling me that his mantra for perfectionism is to say, progress is my perfectionism. So I completely agree with him on that. And if you would like to keep following me, this is great. I'm enjoying getting out and talking about some of my experiences. And I hope you have a lovely day, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.